And we are now live. So, a warm welcome to each and everyone, and thank you so much for joining in for today's session of the Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So, my name is Phil. So, we are from Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. So, the company is based in Detroit, Michigan, and they do IT services. And if you wish to get in touch with them, you can go on www.cogentibs.com. And today, as mentioned the last Wednesday, we will be bringing you two new guest speakers and two new topics. Very interesting topics, definitely. And the same thing, you can watch live or you can actually join us in Zoom for better interaction with our guest speakers. So you can hand your questions quite fast. But anyhow, if you're just watching on live platforms, I'll check your questions and I'll do my best to deliver it to our guest speakers today. All
I will
right.
be.
So much of that. The first topic that we have today that we will bring you is why your marketing should suck more. So a short description is that you just have to take risk to have good marketing. And to discuss this topic is a growth marketing manager in Ibwave Solutions and has been a marketer for over 20 years and with along with his experience and been directing creative leading teams and generally trying to make decent marketing happen through his marketing roles um, which he was able to span agency, private entities, public enterprises, marketing strategy, and business development. He applied deep analysis, creativity, digital strategy, content, and social marketing and video production to drive demand, grow revenue, educate, and inspire. And here with us is Mr. John Brewster, who will be talking for the first topic that we have today, which is why your marketing should suck. And the topic is catchy and would really love to listen more. So here we have Mr. John Brewster. Let's take over.
Hi, everybody. Just a little preview there. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I am here outside Fort Worth, Texas. Curious where everybody else is from. If you want to, you can comment in the comments there where you're at. But yeah, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm at a lake house. It's going to be July 4th soon. So thank you for joining us. I'm here to talk about why your marketing should suck or why it should suck more, depending on where you're at in the suckage spectrum here. And as an aside, googly eyes on a robot vacuum is always a good idea. So we're going to talk about embracing risk. To talk about the risks of trying things and then watching them fail. I do have some slide images in my deck here. All of these are prompted by AI. So I used AI prompts to generate images. And it's just a good example of how sometimes you try stuff and it doesn't quite work. For instance, embracing risk. My prompt was, can you please give me what I was going for was SpongeBob SquarePants, but like not copyrightable, not copyrighted. A humanoid rectangular 3D sponge wearing pants with googly eyes doing something very risky, which resulted in this image. It doesn't look at all like SpongeBob SquarePants. He does have googly eyes, kind of. And I guess the risky thing is that he's up on a cliff. So with that, we're going to talk about trying things, trying some stuff with AI prompts, trying some stuff with your creative, with what your messaging is in your marketing to make sure you stand out and actually stick out and be interesting and get people's attention. So with that, I'm going to bust on some folks. And I'm not busting on anybody individually, but just in general, most marketing on LinkedIn is just boring. It is the same. It is words on a screen. It is massively ignorable. I will guarantee you that after looking at any of this, if you ask me to recall what I got out of these are just some example images that I saw on my LinkedIn feed last week. So yeah, see SEO something or other, things that I can do to help my business, blah, 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 stuff I do not care about. And here's the thing, only 22% of businesses are satisfied with their conversion rates. So most people are like, hey, we want more attention. And the more attention you get, that's going to help you increase your conversion rates by getting more eyes, more people stopping and paying attention to what you're doing. And I focused on conversion for this particular slide. So let's just review what I got in terms of AI prompt. I got like a guy with his hands in the air. There's a donut over on the corner. But what I was going for was a humanoid donut who was a charismatic preacher in a choir robe with its hands held in the air in worship. And I didn't get a donut. I got a dude. The donut's over on the corner. I wanted the feature, the focal point to be a donut with hands. So sometimes you gotta Photoshop your own stuff, is all I'm saying. AI can't do it all. And then I also tried a second one because it didn't work. A donut that is actually also a person. Come on, guys. We're getting the donut. We want the donut to be the central person who is a charismatic preacher whose hands are held up in the air in worship. And as you can see, I get a dude with a beard with a donut next to his hand. Oh, I got no donut person. So that was a failure as well. So just we're taking risks on both the AI prompts here as well as seeing if we can get it to do what we want, and we just can't sometimes. So overall, if you are in most B2B marketing out there, I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to guess based on what most people do. Your marketing is too good. Oh, it's so well produced. Oh, it's so well designed. Oh, it looks just like everybody else. Oh, that means nobody pays attention at all and it just completely blends in. For example, look at the nice kids here at Dropbox DocSend. Concise something or other, can get it. Uh-oh, too good. What about Charles Schwab? We got some stuff about financial something. Too good. Looks good. I don't get anything from it. This is actually from my feed last week. Totally ignored. I didn't even remember this was in this deck. It was that forgettable. I don't even remember the brands I put in this deck. It was that forgettable. But with that, let's talk about the challenges. And with challenges, I did do an AI prompt for this one, which is going to be kind of fun. And it was inspired by the 1990s popular video game Street Fighter II Turbo. And the challenges you're dealing with, you got ad fatigue. So many people see so many bland, boring ads. They got so much stuff flowing through their feeds and their life in general. Everybody's just like got like a kabillion things to pay attention to. So a lot of times in marketing, we imagine that people are like locked into a chair and like seatbelted in and they have to watch our videos or they have to do our stuff, and they don't. They're scrolling past it. They will ignore it most of the time. Short attention spans, you got 8 seconds, they might watch something. You got like 1 or 2 seconds to catch attention. So if you don't know how to do that quickly, you lose them. And then consumer behavior is shifting all the time. And it's important to be bold with your marketing and stand out. So with that, let's talk about challenges. Here's a prompt. Here comes a new challenger. Everybody loves that from Street Fighter II Turbo. I went for Street Fighter II Turbo screenshot from the video game, but with one buckaroo and one fish stick fighting each other. Let's go back and look. This is the buckaroo. He's got a fish in his hands for some reason. And he does kind of look like he's from the show, except for it's black and white. I don't know why. And then I don't know what was going on with these two fish that are like, I don't know, making out or something in the corner. But just for fun, indulge me here. Yeah, a little Street Fighter 2 throwback. Chun-Li wins. Who's going to win the ultimate battle? Let's see. Let's see. It's one-on-one. Ken's got one. Chun-Li's got one. Who gets three? Three wins. Oh. There we go. Chun-Li wins. So, do something interesting. So this is going to be case studies from my personal LinkedIn feed on June 24th, 2024. 6/24/24. And Suckville, meaning people that took risks and tried things that were different. Population, these guys, meaning good work for making me stop. Let's look at some examples of things I saw that I thought were kind of notable. Here we go. Lego. My 4-year-old loves Lego. It's a toy. They're really great. They make movies we actually pay to go watch that are just giant 2-hour advertisements for Lego. This is genius marketing. Here's one where they literally took they made like something kind of a hipster cool botanical cafe in Taipei and actually had Legos being sold at it. It looks like a flower shop. That makes me stop and go, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of fun. That's cute. I don't think of Lego that way normally, and now I'm thinking of Lego differently. Thank you, Lego, for trying some stuff, some sort of fun installation that gets my attention. Here's another one. Just a funny line. Somebody's got a screenshot from their WordPress, and they say, you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. Chelsea, way to go. I paid attention. This caught my attention because I do work in WordPress, and it is a bizarre space sometimes. And so when you can connect with your audience in a way that resonates with what they're dealing with, you can then put a little bit of extra stuff in there marketing wise. Here's some other examples. Apple, we've got the endless cycle of apps. I thought this visual was just very compelling, interesting. It shows that you can kind of keep going forever on how many apps are in Apple. Here's another one. Just a simple, it's just a picture. It's a video of an airplane engine starting, and it goes, me, I open 2 Chrome tabs. My $4,000 laptop starts spinning. And it does. I have a $2,000 laptop, and when I open like one extra tab, it's like, woo, spin, spin, spin. You're like, come on, dude. I paid good money for this laptop. Here's some other things. Timex. We've had some complaints that Monday was a really long day, but we've checked, and it wasn't. Interesting line. Got some visual. It's all blue. Looks cool. Worn by supermodels in London and dads in Ohio. Clever. Turn of phrase. I like it. And then let's get in some different kind of different. There's a guy who literally takes dirty cars and he does art on them, and he shows the whole video of him doing it. And it's all got stuff about creativity and interesting. And then like somebody else uses it to pay off on some marketing thing where they're like, let's get creative and interesting. He just draws dogs on cars. Beautiful, wonderful, interesting. Now we've got a dude. This guy's an art guy that kind of reminds me of Candy Chang, who is an artist that does a lot of cool installations across the world. But this guy, it's a trash can in Paris. The guy puts a basketball hoop over top of it, draws use some tape on the grounds, makes his own little court. Video, like he's got videos of this kind of stuff. I just gave some screenshots here, but stuff like this, you're like, oh, that's interesting. That's different. Here's some other stuff of his. In case of love at first sight, break glass. He's just got like a box he installs on the side of a pole that's got like flowers inside of it. Caution, you might fall in love. The road is lava. Watching all the people jump across these things because he put the road is lava on one of the white lines. It's interesting. It's different. You could do this kind of thing. It's very simple. I wanted to show that you don't have to have a lot of money. You can literally take a camera, have a couple of ideas, throw it out there, and do something interesting that people stop and pay attention to. And you can also pay that off on things that relate to your marketing efforts. Here's one, Amazon. I thought this was good. It's just the visual with all the things on the belt. Really simple photo. You could Photoshop this pretty easily, or maybe AI could generate it. I don't know. But that stuck out just because it was a little bit different. And it is in that quote unquote boring world, Amazon business, like who cares about that? I would pay attention to this. Here's one that's just clever words. It's literally like a piece of paper. We need a graphic designer, obviously, with their website on it. That is genius. You could take that photo like, hey, we suck at graphic design. But look, we actually do really good stuff with our technology. Like I work for a technology company. So like, we suck at graphic design, but our technology is amazing. Automatically, because it's not the slick, put together, typically photoshopped image, you've got my attention. Here's one where these dudes are making a video and there's like a guy jumping through a hoop and the guy keeps pushing him backwards. And this is just a screenshot from that video, but it's talking about like rejection. So just talk about like the idea of like, hey, sometimes we get rejected, or sometimes your product's getting rejected, or whatever. This all you've got is this video of these guys bouncing back and forth, and they actually make it into like a business thing. And then we got nutrition program. This was just like they just did a drop down menu photo, just a photo drop down menu, the kind of things you're thinking of. This stuck out and was different than the typical just like other stuff you see. Here's a couple of guys skimboarding across a river. Amazing video of these guys skimboarding across the river and they hop off on the other side. You could put anything on the back end of that and I will pay attention to whatever the ending is just because of the skimboarding. And then here's a little bit of throw a little shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. No excuses, Monday to Sunday. Little Photoshop on a sign here. Interesting. Dude's a genius, marketing genius. We know that. And here's one that's just an interesting long form post. It starts out with a quote from Ta-Nehisi Coates, and then they just go through and kind of unpack that with some principles that are related to their marketing. They've, I don't remember if there was an image attached to this, but I was like, oh, great. Just summarize things. I can read it really quickly, digest it. It's got some interesting, useful stuff in there for me. So another example of how you can just use words, guys, to do something that is not boring, that doesn't suck. So, in short, chasing the pellets of attention, of wonder, of interest requires risk and a percentage of bad. This makes people uncomfortable. If you are not occasionally doing bad posts on social media, you are not marketing well. You need to try stuff. You need to you need to gamble a little bit. Put a couple of chips on the sevens and roll. Not sevens. That's craps. Put a couple things on the out there and roll the dice. Try some stuff. Give some risk to what you're doing. Don't be afraid to be a little bit provocative in an interesting way that pays off on your marketing. So with that, a couple of quick things you can do. Think about unconventional channels. We're all on LinkedIn, right? I get it. LinkedIn is the bread and butter of all B2B marketing. But you know what? I'm starting to think like, should I do a little dabble in TikTok? Probably not, but maybe. Yes, I should dabble on TikTok because that's like where like 80% of the people I want to get in front of are now spending more of their time, most of their time. You can do some live streaming stuff on Twitch. I don't know, Phil John, if you're actually twitching this, but I do suggest also restreaming it to places like Twitch. AR, VR, just some stuff that's different. Have you ever done a 360-degree video and published it to the Facebook apps so where people can go on in VR and watch what's going on? Give it a try. Don't be afraid to try different storytelling things. Don't be afraid to be funny. Please be funny. Don't be afraid to be like, uh-oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then here's what's going to happen. Suspense. And then interactivity. It can be as simple as doing a post that's a poll or being like, hey, guys, would you rather do something really cool and use our app? Or would you rather eat grass clippings? That's funny. Do that kind of a poll. And then people are like, I'd rather use your amazing marketing than eat grass clippings, and see how many people respond to that kind of stuff. And then obviously feature people in your posts, personalize it. Do something, use content that people produce. If somebody does something about your company, say thank you. Be a human. It's called social media. And then data-driven creativity. Don't be afraid to apply data to all the things you do. Please optimize. Please optimize. That's going to help you tell whether the risky marketing that you've done is actually getting higher engagement, higher click-through, higher ultimately. If you can track it all the way through, you should have a full funnel tracking where you're going all the way through to closed deals. If that's what you're going for, that's what I'm going for. So make sure you are not afraid to try things that you haven't tried. So if everybody, your to-do is for your B2B business, start doing TikTok videos this afternoon. And with that, thank you so much for your time. I will end on this. Consider trying different. If you always do what you've always done, so you're still doing the same stuff you did last year, you're going to keep getting the same results. And if you're like 22% conversion rate, kind of like 22% people don't like their conversion rate. If you don't like your conversion rate, then just keep doing the same boring crap everybody else does on the internet, and you'll continue. You'll probably actually go down a little bit over time. You'll continue to be ignored and then slowly be irrelevant. And if you're like me, that's just not very fun. So have some fun with it, risk some stuff, and please make your marketing suck. Thank you.
Wow, that was really great. Like it's new and timely, very informative, and it's a complete twist, definitely. So to what has been normally shared or discussed upon, especially in the marketing and the development of it. Thank you so much, Mr. Brewster, for bringing that one. Like I'm just curious though, like when you started this kind of development or marketing strategy, like how did you came to stumble that this could be a thing? Like when you first discovered it.
I think most of the experts in the marketing industry are pretty comfortable with taking risks. It depends on the organization. Obviously, I've worked in creative agencies where you're trying to push the envelope and do something risky, and a lot of times that goes through a board that's like, nah, let's whittle that back down to boring land as much as possible. I will tell you from experience that when you take those risks and you do that kind of stuff, sometimes you'll be like, wow, what happened? We posted this post and we have like 800% more engagements on this post than others. And you're like, what did we do? And you're like, oh, that was one of the weird ones. Yep, that was one of the weird ones. So I think it just comes from testing, from trying stuff out, and then sometimes accidentally tripping into something that gets a lot of attention. Sometimes I have an example of where we did something that was just a really bad video made with PowerPoint, and we posted it out there. Some like an intern made it, like this video, and we had like 1.5 million views on that thing within like less than a day. And normally we get like a couple 100,000 views on one of our videos. We're like, what happened? And it's like, well, it wasn't well produced. It was more authentic. And I'm not saying make crappy videos all the time, but I'm saying if you do, sometimes uh, the right kind of content that isn't so slick and overproduced, which most marketing is way overproduced, might actually perform better in certain cases. So I think tripping into those kinds of examples over the years, or those kinds of things, you're just like, oh, wow, what's different about this? Oh, we didn't spend, $20,000 to produce this video. An intern did it in like 4 hours yesterday afternoon, and it looks like that. And because it looks like that, people are like, wow, authentic, interesting stuff. Thank you. We're all paying attention to it. So
I see. Well, while you were saying that, I just remembered this like a TikTok video. It's actually if you maybe have seen this one already. Like it's a woman who's like maybe trying to do a world record of the longest non-blinking person. Yeah, you've seen it, right? Like she did not blink except when she ate the chocolate. Like it was the marketing for the chocolate.
I love that. I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're just like, if I just did a post, it's like, hey, watch one of our employees try not to blink for 5 minutes. The number of people that'll pay attention to that is probably higher than, hey, let me drone on about our product. And then in the middle of that 5 minutes being like, and now a piece of chocolate, blink, or now we'll look at my technology on my phone that I'm showing you my app that's so amazing, blink. Oh, genius. Genius.
Yeah, that was really great. It's only few seconds until the record is set, and then the chocolate was really good that she blinked. So
Love it.
it was really like reverse type of marketing. So well, yeah, that's really great. And let's check here. Actually, as you mentioned earlier, we're actually on Twitch, but it's quite new. Like there's not a lot yet on Twitch, but we are live on Twitch as well, by the way, as you mentioned earlier. So I don't see any questions just yet. Uh, like, can you recommend like are there articles right now that or you just have to be risk like risk taker or be more creative? Like you don't have to follow uh much of the like the bookish thing or just keep finding articles that will help you in this type of marketing.
Yeah, I'd recommend. I mean, I literally did this by just going through my feed on a given day. So
Mm,
part of what I do is if you find some organizations or some people that are pretty good at catching your attention, I'd recommend noticing that and just following them. So kind of seeing if they're what their free throw percentage is in terms of interesting stuff. And a lot of times, if you do that enough with stuff that is genuinely in that vein of like interesting, not don't follow any boring brands. But follow some organizations, some companies, and some people that do interesting stuff, and that'll start to when you're scrolling through your feed, TikTok, obviously, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. That'll start to give you ideas for the kinds of things you can do. A lot of times, it's just, hey, take that idea and adapt it to what you're doing, and it'll work. It'll work really well. So I would that's how I do it. There's also I could be, like come up with this list of all these people I follow, but I feel like one way to do it is just to start to build your own, curate your own list of interesting people that are doing the right kind of
okay.
marketing. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. And like the actual presentation was very entertaining and very clear. So reason we don't see any questions of clarification definitely, but I'd like to have you like if anything coming up in the future or you can promote like a business or services that you have currently.
Yeah, so I work for Ivy Wave Solutions. We do software that helps people install antennas and different kinds of radio frequency devices for that makes the internet happen pretty much around the world. So if you're interested in that, if you're a radio frequency engineer, I doubt there's a ton of those watching, but if there is, check us out, IB Wave Solutions. I work there. I try to do interesting marketing, and we're going to be testing out some of these ideas, interesting marketing, in the next couple of months. We haven't done a lot of it up to this point, but we're going to be trying some of that in the latter half of this year. So you'll get to watch in real time as we go from kind of standard marketing to maybe some interesting stuff. And so if you follow us, check us out, check me out. I put a link to my personal LinkedIn in the chat. And that's really all I have to promote is I do a job and we do good stuff. And if you need our good stuff, come talk to me and I'll get you connected to the right people.
All right, that's fantastic. So, yes, guys, you can actually just search on LinkedIn, John Brewster, and then when you come up to a good-looking guy, definitely send a connection to that and send a message if you wish to collaborate. And Sir Brewster is pretty much responsive, so you can connect with him offline for any like queries you have to him directly with this if it's in line to this topic or according or if it's in line to the business that he does. All right, so that ends the first topic that we have. Thank you so much, Mr. Brewster. That was really a great topic, and we will move now to the second topic that we have today, which is the significance of values to driving effective leadership practices. Now, right now roles are interchanging and definitely a lot of like the employees are aiming for positions, the leadership, and yeah, we've discussed leadership profiles uh previously in the past, but this is actually one of a great topic that you can definitely acquire. So if you are watching live right now and you wish to join Zoom right now, please let me know on chat on YouTube and on Twitch, so we can have you in and interact with our speaker. So this topic that we have, it talks about values, which are like the compass that guides leaders' decisions and actions, and they reflect what is important to a leader and what they stand for. So in leadership, so values play a crucial role in shaping an individual's approach to leading others. And our along with our speaker today, we will explore the basic concept of values and a connection between personal values and leadership style, the importance of value and how to incorporate it in decision making. And our speaker today is the founder and head of training at Hero Impact Foundation and Excellent Leadership Impact Academy. And she is also an entrepreneur, a transformational coach, an author, and a speaker, and a healthy living, career friendly, and mental wellness advocate. And also currently serving at Intelligence Era Group of Companies, Dakar, Senegal, as the Ed Corporate Affairs and Competence and Capacity Development, which has also having 18 years of experience in project management and have played a key role in her success as a seasoned business leader. And without further ado, let me introduce to you to Dr. Pupula Pidiat Simbo for our second topic for today. So, Dr. Simbo, you can take over.
Thank you very much, Pierre John. I'm very much happy to be here this afternoon. It's afternoon in Senegal, so I don't know where our viewers are joining from. Wherever you're joining, it's a beautiful day here in Senegal, and I hope you're having an amazing time as well. And for that powerful presentation by John Brewster, you make me rethink my marketing strategy. I have to go back and see what I have to do, to make that powerful change. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you for having us, Phil John of Cogent. So I would like to start by asking a question. That what will it be for you if you speak in a way that you are not only being heard, but you are understood. To anyone who understand the concept of communication, you know it's a two-way road with which no relationship will strive, no business will survive if there are no good communications. So you see, in leadership, it is very important that we know who we are before we can start connecting with people, because understanding yourself is the basic concept of leadership. So I know Phil John has introduced me, but quickly I would like to just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Simbo, and I help startups, business entrepreneurs, and team leaders redefine their leadership presence and improve productivity by revamping their confidence and connection. And John C. Maxwell said that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So if you want to speak in a way that you're not only being heard but understood, then you consider me, because I am your magic one in leadership limbo. All right, so we go straight to the topic for today, and we have discussions on introduction and the definition of the terms that we have, and understanding the relationship between value and leadership. We explore the connection between personal values and leadership styles, the importance of values in leadership development, how values drive effective leadership practices or process, impact of values on decision-making and problem-solving, integrating personal values into leadership styles, then the role of values in building trust and engagement, leveraging values to navigate challenges and inspire others. So we might not go in depth into all this topic of discussion, but I will try in as much as possible to explain in a way that at least we can have a good grasp of what we are discussing today, so that I can take something home and actually have a way forward in terms of our leadership presence. So what are values? Values are ideas or beliefs that a group or individual hold and are essential for determining what is desirable or understandable to them. Values can also be seen as essential for determining what is important to us. You know, in everyday activity, in anything we do, we tend to behave in a certain way. And those ways of behaviors are, they are informed by who we are, by our values, by what we hold dear, by what is important to us. So behaviors, motivation, perceptions, and personalities are framework on which values are established. People interact with the world based on their values, which vary from person to person. Having discussed that, I have a case study. I don't know if we have enough time to, because I like to bring practicality into what I teach so that people can connect in an authentic way. So I'll try to quickly rush on that so that we can understand better. So we look at value-based relationship in an action background company, a tech innovator in corporation industry. The case study is value-based leadership. So this firm was known for its cutting-edge products and innovative solutions. The company CEO, let's say Alex, is a strong advocate of value-based leadership and has consistently emphasized the importance of integrity, transparency, and customer centricity in the organization. Situation Tech Innovators Incorporation is preparing to launch a product that is promises to revolutionize the market. However, during the final testing phase, the quality assurance team identifies a critical flaw that could potentially impact the product's performance. The flaw is not catastrophic, but could lead to customer dissatisfaction if not addressed. Challenge of this is that the product launch has been highly anticipated, and there is significant pressure from stakeholders to meet the scheduled release date. delaying the launch to fix the flaw would mean that they'll be missing out on a lucrative market opportunity and disappointing investors. So what should Alex do? Alex must decide whether to proceed with the launch as planned or delay it to address the quality issues. So the decision-making process here is one, evaluating choices based on values. And what are the values of Alex? Integrity, ensuring that the product meets the highest quality standard before release. Then transparency, communicating openly with stakeholders about the discovered flaw and the decisions to delay the launch. Number three, customer centricity, prioritizing the satisfaction and trust of customers over short-term gains. You can see. So how do you now gather feedback in this scenario? Alex needs to consult with key team members about the flaw. And he needs to stimulate the quality assurance personnel interactions, and also the marketing, the customer support team. He has to bring them on board to understand the potential impact of the flaw and gather diverse perspectives. I wanted to look at Alex here. He's not making decisions all by himself. He has to bring all stakeholders on board. Then they need to communicate the decision. Alex decided to delay the product launch by 2 months to fit the identified flaw. He holds a company-wide meeting to explain the rationale behind his decision, emphasizing the importance of maintaining the company's values. Then the stakeholders management meets with Alex and investors and stakeholders to provide a detailed explanation of the decision. So the steps being taken to address the issue here is to revise the timeline for the product launch. He reassures them of the long-term benefit of maintaining the company's reputation for quality and reliability. So now he did not think about the short term, like, okay, what we are going to gain because we have already made all the plans, we need to launch the product. He has to bring out his values. His values help him in making decisions over what could have seemingly be done. So the clear communication and commitment to values help mitigate potential backlash. Long term, the product launch, when it eventually happens, is a resounding success, and the product received positive reviews for quality and performance. That is what is most important in this case. Now, that will take us to our core values. What is our core values as individual? What do we hold in high esteem? What is it that is important to us? Is it openness, respect, honesty? I mean, there are a million and one of them. So you need to identify what your values are as a leader. Whether you like it's creativity, it's interpersonal communication, it's teamwork, it's openness, it's respect, and everything like that. So now, apart from identifying your values, there are things that need to be known as a leader. That when you need to connect with people or when you are working with a group of people, you are not following yourself. You are the leader. People are following you. And the people that follows you matters, because without having followers, then you are not a leader. I mean, it's followership that determines leadership. No followership, no leadership. But there are some things apart from the personal values that we have or possess that we can, kind of leverage on. When we acquire those skills, will help us to perform at our utmost rate. So some of these are what I identify as leadership gap. The difficult employees, how do you cope with them? Because Perhaps in your home, the way you manage your family is different. You have to come to a total new setting, and these are people coming from different backgrounds. They have different values. They are coming with different orientation. Their understanding of communication is different. They don't want you to shout on them. There are so many things, so many key things at play. So what about low employee morale? How do you boost that? How do you make your lowest performer? How do you make them to perform at an expected rate? Then resistant to change. We live in an uncertain world. Look at the era of COVID-19. Since 2020, the way we do things have changed. But if you're a leader that is not in grasp of the skill that you need to lead in time of change, then you will not be leading well. Then motivation, problem management, poor relationship, impatient, confronting issue without properly assessing the reality and making harsh decisions. Because in situations like this or in times like this also, there are some harsh decisions that you have to make. So these are leadership gaps that we must be able to learn so that we can perform at our best. Then I would like to explore the relationship between the significance of value in leadership. Values are like compass, just like Phil John has rightly said. They are like compass, and they guide leaders' decision and action. They reflect what is important to a leader and what they stand for. In leadership, values play a crucial role in shaping an individual approach to leading others. A leader who will lead well without insecurity will lead with authenticity. Being authentic to yourself, knowing what to stand for, knowing who you are is very important. That is self-awareness. There is no way a leader can lead well without self-assessing himself, knowing who he is. Because it's from that you'll be able to know that whether you are making a judgment based on your perception or based on a rationale that is justifiable. And for leaders can only be authentic when they have known who they are. Their true north is their value. Their true compass is their value. Their belief, their values, the principles that they live by. What inspires them is their things that shape their value. So now let us explore the connection between personal values and leadership. One's personal values heavily influence their leadership style. Let me give an example. A leader who values honesty and integrity is likely to prioritize transparency in their communication and in the decision making. Understanding how personal values intersect with leadership is key to developing authentic and effective leadership. So authentic leadership is a powerful approach to emphasize self-awareness, transparency, and alignment with one's core value. Authentic leaders lead with genuine purpose, staying true to themselves and their belief while inspiring trust and loyalty among their team members. So it is not all about them. Leadership is not all about you, it is about others. At the heart of authentic leadership is self-awareness, just like I mentioned earlier. Now, what are the importance of values in leadership development? Leadership effectiveness is closely tied to one's value. So when a leader's action align with their core values, they are more likely to earn trust and respect of their team members. Values also serve as a foundation for building a positive organizational culture. There are key benefits aligning leadership practices with core values. Aligning leadership with core values lead to greater consistency. You are not this today, that tomorrow. And because you are not trustworthy, your team don't even understand you, they will not respect you, they will not connect with you. Because it's all based on connection. Leadership is connection. Leadership is being able to carry others along in your journey. You are leading them to a particular destination. If you're not connecting with them, there's no way that you can lead them forward. So to foster employee engagement for organizational successes, you need to be a leadership that leads with authenticity. So how can values drive effective leadership practices? Examples of values, value-driven leadership strategies, value-driven. It may include prioritizing open communications, fostering a culture of collaboration. You're always carrying your team along. Then you give them free space to express themselves. Not like you're lord over them. Every time it is your view that has to be heard. Every time it is you that make decision. You need to hear their view, know the perspective at which they bring out their own submission to any subject. Then incorporating values into leadership practices, leaders can create a more motivated and engaged team. Your team will likely cut off from you when you are not engaging them. When you just feel, okay, my role is to dish out instructions as leaders, and you just wait, let them perform. They cannot perform at their utmost best like that. So values are very important in decision making and also in problem solving. Values, like I said, are guiding lights, which without it, we can't have any sense of direction. We'll not know where we are going. There will not be communication of where the leader is moving the followers. So staying true to their values can help them to navigate with integrity and confidence. Now, I also want to talk about incorporating values into leadership communication and action. Effective leadership communication involves consistency, reinforcing, and modeling core values. If you are speaking it, you have to be doing it. So you can't just be saying this is what you believe in or this is who you are, but people cannot see that in your action or who you are. How you lead them, how you discuss with them, how you engage them. It has to show in your action so that they can understand that you are leading them with authenticity. That will make them connect with you. You also have to be able to be a listening leader. You know, when your team member comes with their feedback, you should be able to listen to them and try to look at the rationale from which they engage and recognize the team member who embody shared values. By living out our values in their action, leaders can inspire others and build a value-driven organization. So it requires to build a strong organizational culture. Aligning it with the shared core values is key. When everyone is on the same page about what matters, magic happens. This is where the game changer is. Fostering value-based leadership throughout the organization involves leading by example. You have to show the way and others follow. Not talk the way, but show the way. So the role of building trust and engagement. Trust and engagement are the pillars of a happy and productive workforce. When they're able to trust you, then they can even, I mean, vulnerability is one aspect of being an authentic leader. A lot of people, show their strength and they don't show weaknesses. So that's why you don't see some of their team members coming on board, to even when they know a solution to a particular problem, they feel they don't need to say anything because you are the one cutting the short. So when values guide team dynamics and boost employee morale, work feels less like work and more like a community coming together to achieve greatness. So that is about all the connections with values and leadership. Now I want us to do something more, a little bit practical. How can you, as a person, create a personal leadership development plan? Because if you are able to identify your core values as a leader and you are able to identify your leadership gap, then how do you bridge the gap? Because you need to be able to bridge the gap to be able to communicate well. So I'll put together a personal development plan that requirements that you can follow and write in this in this space today. Take a self-assessment of your current leadership skill and ability. What are the things that you are capable of doing? What do you think are your strengths? You put those ones down. If you have a paper and pen, you can write them down right now, or you write this down and do it after. And the second one is, sorry, I think I missed that. It should be step 2. Identify your core values. What are your core values? What are the things that are most important to you, that you appreciate? Some people say, I know all of us like honesty, because if you ask anybody, you say, no, I value honesty. But then, do you align that core value to how you operate in your businesses, or in your communication, or in your relationship? Then write down your personal vision statement about your dreams and aspirations. What is it that you are looking at? Who do you want to be? It's not always easy to do this step 5. Analyze what others think of you in a transparent way, because other people's perception of us can be different. But we, as often as uncertain as we are, or confused, or even completely unaware of what we project, it's still very important for us to be able to understand, how we are perceived, how people see us. By the time you write your values, you'll be able to connect the dots and find out if this is you or if that is not you. Then set goals towards attaining your personal development plan. Well, how do you want to now move from where you are to where you want to go to? You have identified where you are, which is your assessment, and you have been able to write your vision down, which is where you want to go to. So how do you move from here to there? That gap is what you have to do here to set the goals towards attaining personal development plan. And your goals must be concise, it must be timely. I mean, you must write this in a way that it's clear of any ambiguity, and give it time frame. Don't say I want to lose 10 kg, but without writing how and when you want that to take place. Okay, so and the step 8 is, what are the action plan that you will take towards achieving this? You must be able to identify that and put that down as well. So developing personal responsibility and self-discipline is very important, because if you can lead yourself first, leadership first, you have to lead yourself first in order to teach others to take responsibility and leadership in their own work and lives. Then you need to strive always to demonstrate and model these qualities. Accept full responsibility for your life, where you are right now. Don't say it's somebody that's responsible. You are responsible for your life. Whoever you are or whatever you are, it is your own responsibility. When you're able to, be able to be in self-awareness, like accept yourself for what it is that you are right now, you'll be able to move forward. Then you be positive, whether the outcome of your actions or decisions has been negative or positive, accept it, because it is a good way to move forward. It means viewing your mistakes and your successes with equal appreciation for lessons and gifts they impart. In project management, we say there is no failure. Every project that you missed, or that you fail at, there are some lessons that you learn from it. Those lessons are what will now help you in the future when you are dealing with such projects. Then practice and develop self-discipline in order that your decision and action are uncertain, unbiased, and in a control manner, and that you are always fully aware of and prepare for repercussions of those actions and decisions that you have made. So I don't know if we still have much time. Okay, so when you are looking at effective leadership in terms of having an effective leadership presence, because we always talk about leadership presence, and people say, okay, what is leadership presence? So it's a way of you connecting with your team member in a way that you are able to pass your message across to them. You can be a leader and people don't even see you as one. So how does value now affect your leadership presence? Or what can it help you to build an effective leadership presence? Values will help you gain the trust and respect of others. It's not enough to have the skills and knowledge to get things done. You also need to earn the loyalty and allegiance of those you are leading. Then while confidence, communication skill, and poise can certainly help create the aura of leadership, it's not enough. No matter how polished you think you are, if you're not a person of integrity, your power will be paper thin. Values can help you to build effective leadership presence in another way. Integrity comes from knowing who you are, being clear on your core values and what you stand for, and then behaving and speaking in line with all that you honestly and respect in others. If you do not behave in a manner that is honest, loyal, that is honest and loyal and respectful. So I would like to add one more thing, that we can also, from here, begin from having a journal, a value journal. We can have a value journal exercise. So you can randomly select a value and journal about why it is or isn't important. If it's important, write down about its role in your life and how you can live out this value. Alternatively, write about your top or core goals, how they develop over the years, times you acted out of accordance, and ways you can live in harmony with your values. I have come to the end of this presentation, and I don't know if you have any question. You can connect with me. I have my thank you, John. I have my social media handles on the chat, in the chat box. You can copy and paste and look us up. I love to work with women, and but I am looking forward to inspire 3,000 women by year 2025. We have done a lot in the past, and I still believe the journey is still far. So with you out there, you can also join us together with us, because we have a foundation where people can help, either in terms of resources or their expertise. People are always looking forward to learn one or two things that will move their life forward. And one of this is having the leadership skill, and that is the area I'm well grasped. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Simbo, for that wonderful topic. Like, it's the actual like, in every companies, like, there are really values and all that's being like inculcated in their employees and all that. So with this presentation, you actually it's more of a reminder that not just the employees must follow the values that the company is implementing, as also especially the leaders as well should be able to comply to those values, as it is important to leadership. So yeah, I actually I wanted actually more time, supposedly, because I was about to ask, like, what's your personal experience where your uh value and leadership were in question or something, or were in use in such a manner. Like, if you could share shortly before we actually, I've checked, we don't have any questions so far. It's pretty clear with the actual content. And yeah, we just want to hear a little of your experience regarding your value and your leadership being challenged.
Yes, I would like to give an example. There was this particular year that I got employed in an organization, and the organization produces reinforcement materials like nails, like wire mesh, and all that. So at that point, I was employed as a quality control manager. And I was in the factory a couple of times looking at what they do and all that. And I just found out that, even when they produce and there are some defects, they don't even care. They just mix them all up and, send them to the packaging department and, from there to marketing and all that. It says. So I've been trying to look at what my immediate boss was doing. So he seems not to care much about that. So there was an engagement we have. We got talking, and I asked him. I said, "What is important to you or the organization the most?" So he talked about, no, I want us to sell as much as possible to meet this target and all that. I said, okay, beyond meeting the target, are there other things that you think the customer appreciates, or do you think the customer that will make them to make decision to buy our nails or our mesh or our binding wires? So he said, no, 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 because we are not so many in Nigeria, the companies are not so many, they don't have any choice. I said, wow, that's a very funny one. They don't have choice. Whatever we produce, we sell. So I actually was playing along because I was new and I don't want to be seen as rude, or maybe I come with my own um, idea and something like that. So he's a man while I am a lady, I'm a lady. So, and by and large, after some time, then we had an issue. So we see a very drastic collapse in our sales revenue. And, questions were asked, meetings were held, and we were all talking what happened, what could cause it, and all that. And eventually, we found out that what he was saying was wrong. We were not the only producer of nails or wire mesh. Even there are many imported from China that are even better than what we were producing. So people started seeing the difference in our nail, because if they have to put the nails on in the roof or wherever the wood, they have to nail it. If they're supposed to nail it 3 times for the nail to go right into the wood, for our own goes, like you have to hit hammer on that nail a couple of times, maybe like 10 times. So that is giving them more, that they are expending more energy. They are doing more work. They are spending more time. It's wasting their production time and all that. So we got into the field and we have to find out what we were doing wrong. So at that point, we understood that, okay, so this was our problem. And even when I pointed it out, he was not seeing anything wrong with it. Not because he's somebody that does not like quality, but he believes that that was what he meant in the organization. His value was not aligning with what was on ground. So we had to add meeting with the stakeholders, the management, and we discuss all this with them. If we have to move forward, then we have to change a couple of things, because if we are standing for quality, we are standing for quality. If that is what is our motto, like what we are known for, then we should be able to stick to that. Anything short of that will make us lose more revenue. So, and thankfully, the management, got the idea. We changed some parts of the machine. We changed some hands, because some of our resources also were not very trained about how to handle the machine. So we juggle with a lot of things, and that change brought an upward in the bottom line.
All right then. Well, thank you so much. That was really a great change ordeal with the actual process. So that's implementing like the company. So like if the actual heads of the company is against their own company's value, like it's gonna give you a loss, definitely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It actually is a wonderful thing
Thank you.
to know about the changes that could be made about the positive impact of following the values. And yes, I still do not see any questions. So definitely that was a great topic you have shared and discussed with our both speakers today. And anything you'd like to promote, Dr. Simbo? Anything upcoming or you need to advertise?
Yes, sir, but I don't know if it's going to be applicable to this audience because we are
Mm-hmm.
targeting a community in Nigeria, the
Uh-huh.
Yoruba community. Yes, I like I said, many of my friends call me the legacy queen because I always like to embrace a positive culture. We don't want to be lost as Africans. So our values, just like we are saying here, is very important to me. So one of which is proverbs. When we speak in Yoruba, we put proverb in there because it helps us to express ourselves better. And because we are speaking to our people, even wherever we are, when we say that, they understood what we are talking about and they know what they are supposed to do. So in order to keep that legacy alive, I have launched a competition and it's titled Obawe. It's Lord of Legacy, Lord of Proverbs. So where people you know, play with a couple of proverbs where they have multiple questions answered, and at the end of the month, we are going to, we bring up the winner, and the winner will be going on with 500,000 naira. So that is just about that, and other things I have. I've written. I've co-authored some books. I didn't say here. I am a Christian, and I am very, very much. I've written some books on my belief, and one of it is the um, leadership secrets of Queen Esther. So we're talking about leadership. It's applicable in all aspects of life, either in the religious space, in marriage, in relationship, in I mean, what have you. So it will help Christians to be able to understand how to lead also and lead well. So, and I'm a healthy living enthusiast. So I have a lot of things that I do. I've written some ebook on mental health, and well, I've been sharing it free of charge, and I don't wish to sell that. But if anyone can connect with me here, I'm willing to share that ebook with them. Our mental health is very important, and we live in a world of uncertainty, and things are happening. People commit suicide every day. I still read one yesterday about a Nigerian multimillionaire, and he jumped out of his window. We don't know what would have caused that, but the society itself is not helping. But at my own little space, I'm just putting resources together to help people navigate that. Thank you very much,
All
Freja.
right, wonderful. So if you could send me the link
Uh,
personally, like we can actually promote that book that you have as well in the follow-up post that we have. And other than that, thank you so much. So we would
okay.
like to greatly extend our thanks to both of the speakers, Sir John Brewster and Dr. Simbo, for your time and effort today and the value that you actually brought for today's Zipinar session is sharing knowledge, not just bare knowledge itself, but also the experience that you have and how you were able to come up with that actual information that you have. Because we believe information is everywhere with the works of the internet right now, especially with AI. But hearing knowledge from your personal takes and point of views is what like the actual value that we get in this Let Us Talk It Zippiners. And for those who are watching or will be watching this on a recorded um, module on Zoom or on Twitch, please help us share this video so it could reach Africa and also in other parts of the world to help promote our speakers as well and also their endeavors in terms of business and leadership. All right. And other than that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today with this wonderful session with our two wonderful guest speakers. And hoping to see you again next Wednesday. We do this webinar or Zipinar every Wednesday, the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be bringing you two new topics and two new guest speakers. So we're looking forward, and for you both as well, sir, and Sir Brewster and Dr. Simbo, if you wish to join our next webinars, if you have time to do so, you are free to join as well. And if you know someone or anyone in your connection that would like to share the same value, not just knowledge and experience, into this platform, you can recommend it to me or to us, so we can have them on the platform. All right. So again, thank you so much, and this marks the end for today's webinar session. And we are happy to be with our two wonderful guest speakers today, and yes, hoping to share more knowledge in the future. All right. So we will be saying goodbye for now, but see you again next session of our knowledge sharing. And keep safe as always, anywhere you are in the world.
Thank
And
you.
have a good day ahead. Take care, everyone. Goodbye for now.
Bye. I'll connect with you, John.
Okay.